When you're new to CrossFit or the first time you visit a CrossFit gym, there are some things you might see that you don't expect that take you off guard. And we're going to tell you what those things are in this episode. So tune in and take notes.
Welcome to the CrossFit Edwardsville Community Podcast, where we hear and learn from our coaches, CrossFitters, and Glen Ed community leaders. Now, here are your hosts, Dallas and Greg.
So part of what we want to do in this podcast series is empower you guys with proper expectations for when you go to a CrossFit gym, because it rarely looks in person. It rarely looks and feels live action the way that you perceived it in your head. So many people have preconceived notions about CrossFit, about what they would see in a CrossFit gym, what they would experience in a CrossFit gym, what they would feel in a CrossFit gym. And this episode series about surprising things you'd see that you don't expect is kind of like our mini Mythbusters, where we try to give you a reel-to-reel, what would you actually experience so that you're not taken as off guard and so that you have a better grasp of what you might be stepping into if you go to visit a CrossFit gym for real for the first time. So in this final episode of the series, we're going to tell you 4 more things that might take you a little bit by surprise. Let's launch into it. Number 1, if you're doing CrossFit, your hands and your shins might take a beating. What we mean by that is we do a lot of exercise that involves holding things, gripping things with our hands. And sometimes the skin of your hands will become calloused or torn. You might have some nicks and cuts there. You may not expect that. It's one of the things we actually end up taking pride in as a CrossFitter is the physical toughness that you develop by pushing through something like that. Or maybe your shins. If you climb a rope, if you do a box jump and you miss, your shin may take a hit as well. You might get some cuts or bleed from your shins as well. That is way less common than getting some kind of callus or cut on your hands, but it still happens enough that it warrants mentioning. So your hands and your shins may take a beating as you do CrossFit workouts. The good news is it's one of those signs of toughness that you end up becoming very proud of as a CrossFitter. That's point number 1. Point number 2, your coach might not look like a typical trainer. If you've been used to going to a traditional gym where more traditional trainers go to play and go to teach others the way of the fitness, you probably see women that have been doing like bikini comps or physique competitions. You might see guys that have been bodybuilders or aspiring bodybuilders, and those may be the trainers or the coaches. Now, it's important that we note that people that commit their lives to teaching and coaching fitness they're agents of good things in the world. They're agents of positive change. And even if your trainer looks like a bodybuilder or your trainer looks like a bikini competitor of some sort, those people can probably help you amazingly transform your lives. But if you're at a CrossFit gym, your trainer may not look like those stereotypes because your trainer has real fitness, the kind of fitness that doesn't just look some kind of way. It actually translates into everyday life where they're actually able to do a lot of really amazing physical things because they've trained their body to do that. They may look a lot less like a bodybuilder. They may look more regular, more normal, but they also have the capacity to do things that your bodybuilders and your bikini competitors can't even dream of. They can climb things, they can lift things, they can do all kinds of body weight exercises, they can run far and lift heavy, and their bodies will tend to reflect a more functional fitness kind of aesthetic. A body that doesn't just look big, it looks like it can actually do stuff. It can fight, it can sport, it can climb, it can do everyday stuff easily. Your coach may not look like a typical trainer, and that is okay. Let's go to point number 3. Surprising thing you may not expect. There's a lot of emphasis on mobility here, a lot of emphasis on mobility. So CrossFit is not just about brute strength. It's not just about cardio. Many classes, including ours at CrossFit Edwardsville, include structured stretching, specific stretching of muscle groups and joints, mobility work, foam rolling to improve your movement quality and prevent injuries. It's actually a structured part of the experience. In every coached session we have here, your coach will actually take you through some stretches after the general warm-up, which helps you to move better, helps you to feel better, and helps you to last longer as an active person who needs to live a long, high-quality life. Surprise point number 3 is all of the emphasis on mobility. It's not just strength and cardio. And finally, point number 4, it's addictive. It's addictive. Maybe you have some initial intimidation when you first come to the CrossFit gym, but so many people find CrossFit so addictive, partly because of the variety in workouts, the difficulty of the workouts, to some extent, the extremity of the workouts. It's really addictive, that feeling of overcoming those difficult things, surprising yourself, learning cool things about what you're actually capable of. It's fulfilling and rewarding to do these difficult things in a way that's very hard to describe if you're not part of it. Part of it also is the supportive community, the experience, the interaction we have with each other, where it's a uniquely uplifting place to be. And that feeling is addictive. That feeling of being a part of something really special with like-minded people that share values and have qualities that you aspire to be. It's exciting. It's adrenaline pumping. It's addictive, and you have to be a part of it to feel it for yourself. So to recap, 4 surprising things for this episode. Number 1, your hands and shins might take a beating. Number 2, your coach may not look like a typical trainer. Number 3, there's a lot of emphasis on mobility. And number 4, CrossFit is addictive. You can learn a lot more about CrossFit Edwardsville by searching for us on the YouTubes, Googling CrossFit Edwardsville, reading about us online, reading the reviews. And we hope that you do. You can book a time to talk to any of us coaches here on our website, where we'll answer the questions that you may have. For now, we thank you for the gift of your time and your attention, and we will see you guys in the next episode. Coach G out.
Thanks for listening to my dad's podcast. For more useful tools and guidance, go to CrossFitEdwardsville.com and feel free to like, share, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comment sections down below. See you in the next episode.